Welcome back, everybody, to Tuesday Night Pro League live in the Nexon Arena. My name is Valdez. Joining me today is Wolf, and we just had everything be all tied up once again here. We had Cure able to take out Pet, as well as San able to take the first game against SOS, and now let's jump into game number 3 straight away. We're not wasting any time here, Wolf.
All right, so let me give you another Xenex history lesson, everybody.
Open your history books.
Open your history books. Go to the Xenex page, a team that actually created a lot of legends. Hack used to be known as Xenex Nuke. He was also known as Xenex Hack for a while. He all-killed FXO when I was with that team sat on the bench, and it was a very sad day. He's been around for a very long time. Hack actually is the Korean word for nuke, and that's where he gets his ID. And
wouldn't you know it?
And that's why I'm looking at my computer screen right now. There's like one of the top games on the arcade on the Korean server is like a nuke defense map. It says Hack on it right there. All right, Trap, his opponent, definitely had a lot more success in StarCraft 2 than Hack did, though.
Yeah, that he did, and even recently, taking a bunch of games. He came out in the Ace match for Generic Greenwings and won that match as well. So everybody who had him on his FPL team, very happy. I believe he was pretty cheap. And getting a lot of wins out of this guy, especially that Ace match win. This guy is proven that he's still around these days. After coming from IM, right? He's over here to Generic Greenwings now.
Yep.
And looking to take more names.
Now, I think he beat Deer last time he played that I was casting him. And this guy he's back on his way to form. He's not there yet, but he's like on his way back. And I feel like Jin knows that. That's why they're fielding him so often this round.
Yeah.
They really know that this guy is coming back.
Yeah, he really is. And look at the predictions even here. All 6 of us going for Trap. Pretty similar to yesterday. And Hack, he's only really come out against Zerg. We haven't really seen him outside of that here, at least in Pro League. And just Trap in general playing so strongly these days. Who wouldn't vote for him?
Well, he qualified for Today. Something else to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's big as well. Let's jump into the game right now. It's Hack versus Trap. Down here on the bottom right, in the pink, the Terran player from StarTale-yoe. Even though the Generic Greenwings logo is down here, it is Hack.
And up to the top left, in green for Generic Greenwings.
He's also got Generic Greenwings here.
Yeah, it is Trap. My observing PC doesn't actually show the logos. Only you guys can see them.
Uh-oh. Hide your face. Don't want to show the world that you've been here. Although you shouldn't be ashamed at all.
Never be ashamed of the things you love. Ever. If you are, you don't really love them.
That's true. That's true. If you don't love them enough to not care about what other people think about it, then you don't love it enough.
No.
You don't have enough passion.
I mean, seriously. And that's why I always encourage you to spread the word about this tournament. Mm-hmm. Tell people about it, because not everybody knows about StarCraft. It's like, the best example I can think of this in my life that's like, let me give you guys a real world example as we see. It's not going to be a CC first, nothing crazy in this game. When I was in high school, one of my close friends, was in the fencing club. I didn't even know there was a fencing club. I never fenced before. I never knew much about it. I'd seen it on the Olympics. I thought it was kind of cool. He told me everything about it. I joined. There were very few people in the club. I told my friends about it. They told their friends. And then suddenly the fencing club at my high school was huge. And we competed, and it became a really big thing. And it came out of nowhere because nobody knew about it. Nobody knew about this awesome thing, fencing, that was, not actually as hard as it seems to get into. You have to buy some blades and some weapons. StarCraft the same. You got to buy a game. You got to get your keyboard, your mouse hooked up. You got to install that. You get involved, but as a spectator, you don't even have to install anything. All you have to do is load the stream. And I feel like esports is still very new. StarCraft is still, it's not very new at all. It's been around for quite some time, but to some people it is new. And I feel like all it takes is somebody saying, I stay up all night Monday, Tuesday to watch Pro League. You want to watch it with me? You want to try that sometime? You want to watch the VODs tomorrow before class? Or you want to chill and have a beer and just like watch some Pro League? Like, I know you're not really into that, but there's this, I know you play a lot of video games, and there's this really awesome tournament that happens every week, and it's really prestigious in Korea, and it's really important. Check it out.
Especially for the guys that already play like so many video games, you know, your roommate who plays a bunch of Call of Duty or whatever, and he wonders like what you're doing, staying up all night watching the GSL. Just let him know. Be like, okay, tomorrow you don't have class. Let's watch some VODs. I'll show you what it's all about. Yeah. And it's really great to do that.
I mean, Pro League is just one StarCraft tournament, right? There's so many out there. But this is definitely, I feel like, one of the tournaments you can show somebody to show them how legit StarCraft is. Like, this is a regular show that happens every week. And it's a team league. It's not just an individual league. There are those as well, like the Star League finals that are coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
So this game has been pretty standard. We have an SCV scout coming in, checking pylons. Yeah. Actually ends up dying here.
Sees everything. And in fact, because that SCV stayed around, Trap keeps his Zealot and does not cancel that. So it's slightly later. Nexus coming down here. And getting that second gas a little bit later. Let's see what Trap wants to do. I mean, this is something very slight. He does go for the Stalker here as well as that Mothership Core. Maybe want to put on a little bit of pressure. We already see that Zealot coming across the map. And something's coming out from the Terran. I assume that's a Reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wants to go, check around the map, see if he can find any proxies, for example. Come also verify if there's been any tech added in the main. This is going to be a Twilight Council. Doesn't commit. He could have actually seen that, but he was microing his Marines, I think, at the same time. He just actually microed that on the minimap. I think he just hit his Reaper hotkey and microed on the minimap because he wasn't sure what that unit was that he ran into.
Yeah. He may come for another pass. And we've seen time and time again, especially on this map, Reapers are just so strong. Like, they're great for taking out Zealots, of course, but after that, like, even if the Mothership Core is covering the ledge, you can get up without dying. You can sacrifice your Reaper, get all the scouting information you want, especially if the Stalker's on the other side, blocking from the other ledge.
Yeah. I mean, that Zealot is kind of an anomaly in this game, but the Reaper gives you even, like, a little bit of safety against this. The Zealot, I think, was just, like, if I can assess this, but just by watching it very quickly, is possibly he just forgot to cancel against an eBay block, and then he was like, well, I'm going to do something with this. It might have been an early Zealot. Didn't check for sure, but regardless, he shuts it down. It's never going to be a threat. It's never going to be anything that can even help defend pressure later on in the game. It's dead. It's gone forever. The Reaper, going to regen his health, come back to full. Going to be useful for so many other things. It's a great unit to have in the early game, and you could just see some of its utility here.
Yeah, but still, he hasn't really gotten that much scouting down. He really needs to get into that base and get some kind of scout. He's been kind of passive with it. I mean, I would love for him to just go around the other side, go up the ledge, because there's actually nothing blocking it.
Right.
And he would be able to get in the main base, see everything. And what we have out of Trap here, actually, is just kind of a safe blink. He's not going aggressive with this one. He's following up with some gateways, a Robo specifically, and he's just going to be able to use that blink to defend against drops. Especially on this map, you want to be able to have that mobility to defend against any kind of Widowmine drop or anything like that. But just looking at Hack, it looks like he's just making a bunch of barracks. He's got that third CC already as well.
Yeah, now going back to your point about the scouting, because I want to actually emphasize this a little bit, because the Reaper doesn't scout anything, so he has to make turrets. In fact, he's made 2 turrets now. That's expensive. He didn't jump up to the ramp, even though he could have, because he doesn't know that he can jump up the ramp, But you see Stalkers waiting in defense there, and one of the strengths of the Blink Stalker opening is that if it is scouted, then your opponent has to prepare because he doesn't know. But if it's not scouted like this, at this point, Trap's just like, well, he doesn't even know I'm going Blink. Like, let him panic about whatever he's worried about. I'm not going to show it until later, and I'm not going to even pressure with it. Not going to make him make bunkers now that he hasn't shown it and he's hidden it for so long. He can try to get something out of it. This Reaper is looking like it might actually finally commit to a scout. Nope. Never mind. I'm looking at the minimap. Doesn't go. But he can pressure up here against this army. This is the first time that he confirms that Blink is on the map. Cost him a few Marines. He's now going to make bunkers. A little bit nervous.
We saw Stats yesterday do a very similar build with the Blink. He just used it to get out very early on the map. And just as his Terran ball is trying to walk across and put on some pressure, he just takes out so many units. But the difference in this game is that Hack is just being very defensive and, just trying to get ahead in an economical sense. He's already got that third CC for a very long time. He's going to be able to move that down here in a bit, whereas Trap is still on 2 base.
Sometimes in this mid game, like around 9-10 minutes, when the Terran's not sure what's going on and eventually has to move out, I actually like to in my head, and this is not, I'm not even making this up. I'm gonna tell you guys this analogy. I like to think of it almost like it's a rain cloud building, and then eventually the cloud is too heavy and it's time for the Terran to move out and harass. It's like, you're like, okay, I'm stuck in my main base. I have all this Terran army, but I'm so scared he's gonna kill me. But eventually you just have to move out, and that's what these Zealots are for. But Hack is, man, he's playing panicked. He's like making 2 bunkers right now, which is absolutely not what he needs. The closest thing to attacking him right now is a mothership core that's on the bottom of the map.
Yeah, I don't know. Something in that scan kind of tipped him off. He scanned the third base, didn't see it. He scanned the natural, sees a Colossus, sees some Stalkers. But as you were saying, he definitely does not need those bunkers.
It's time to rain, Valdez. The army's coming across the map. I'm hearing the thunder. Let's see if it can get anything done. These Zealots are just waiting for this moment for the rain to spill out so they can come into that main base and get some harassment done.
He's still got those 3 bunkers. Hasn't salvaged those just yet. He's going to miss that War Prism. He does find the pylon on the bottom left, though. And in the meantime, he's going for a double drop to what looks like the main, but no. Brings it back. Hack being a little bit...
he's timid, man.
Yeah. He's hesitating. He's not really going for everything. Now this is like turning into a fake drop. There's only 3 units in both of those medevacs.
Oh, I kind of like this, actually. I really like this. This might actually hit the third base too hard. Like, he's going to come over here and he's going to see, okay, there's nothing here, but he might lose his Nexus for it.
Yeah, I think he will. A huge stim in, and it's not made yet. There's a lot of Marauders in this mix as well, and a bunch of Warpins come down, but immediately the cancel has to come down. Going to get both of those Zealots as well as the Pylons and the Probe.
Yeah, that was like a panicked reaction right there to try to warp those units, and he loses them for free. This Warp Prism's still alive, but still, man, that was a nice play. That was really... That kind of fake, you don't see it too often, but it absolutely worked. Really good success there.
Yeah.
And now, at this point, Trap is kind of this awkward position where he has so many probes, but he just can't saturate a third base because he has to start it over. That Nexus was almost complete. Like I said, it wasn't quite finished. It was almost done. Like, this would have been the perfect time for him to suddenly, boom, have 3 saturated bases with really good tech. Now he's got really good tech, but too many probes that he can't use. He's at 60 probes on 2 bases.
Yeah, way oversaturated for now. Once that third base finally gets up, though, he's going to have a huge power surge. He's got that tech, like you were saying. He's got the +2 armor about to finish here. He's also got Storm, which is really huge. No sign of Ghost on the way here for Hack. He's just making... He's made 2 Vikings, but he kind of stopped.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised.
I mean, there's only 1 Colossus, so it's actually a good idea, but...
He, you know, he's got a ton of barracks on the map, and he's now got a 2nd starport, so now going to start that Viking production again, so that makes sense.
Well, he doesn't need the Vikings, though. There's only 1 Colossus.
Yeah.
One Robo. He hasn't identified this fact.
Exactly. He doesn't know, and I was going to say, like, it makes sense, but it doesn't, but, like, it makes sense to him. I understand why he would want to make 2 Vikings at a time here after powering up barracks for so long, because he's like, oh, God, you know, I really need these Vikings out, and also it's going to be good for making more medevacs there, because he's only got, I think, still 5 on the map. Yeah, 5 minutes, a decent amount, but obviously not 100% ideal for how much bio he's got on the ground. With Immortals on the ground and all these High Templar, this is a style that we saw actually ruin, really popularized a long time ago last year, and we're seeing this kind of fake 1 Colossus into Storm build, an old build, come back into play here, and Hack has kind of fallen into it because he has no answer just yet. He's making his first Ghost right now for the High Templar.
Yeah. Trap, he needs to use this advantage that he's got right now. There's 3 Ghosts, in fact, on the way right now. So if they pop out, I mean, we've got 8 High Templar, so it's going to be hard to land EMPs on everything, but like you were saying before, I don't think he's even, like,
he hasn't
acknowledged this. Like, he doesn't even really know. Now he knows. He's going to be like, oh, crap, here we go.
We might even see a feedback or 2 here just because this army is so zoned out. No, he's saving his energy. The cool thing about this for Trap is he doesn't even have to force engagements. I think that was just kind of one of these confirmation move outs. So, are you trying to take a 4th base, or you move on the map, kind of catch you here and slow it down while I keep getting now double upgrades because he has 2 forges now for the first time, and he's adding more Immortals in. This is kind of a poke. And now he's got this high ground here. He's like, I dare you to attack me. 3 base versus 3 base right now. You do not have the means. Okay, this is a small gateway army, so the Storms are very important. If he misses them, if he clumps his High Templar or they get sniped or something like that, he will absolutely lose the fight. These High Templar are so critical.
We have a split here from the High Templar on the right side, but just not enough. He lands a Storm on that small amount of units, but that's 3 Storms on a very small amount of units. Look at those snipes
here. See, this is how a fight could turn around if you put all your eggs in one basket like this with no Colossi. Good EMPs here on those Immortals as well. This is a strong bio army. So many Zealots with good upgrades. And High Templar from the side.
Oh, he lands a decent storm there. Another nice storm. And this is going to force Hack back. He doesn't have enough right now to fight this. Just a huge amount of zealots for the tanking. He has about 30 of them. And that's just way too much when you got Storm for the AoE as well.
And I want to point this out because you guys can't see on the screen. A ton of those zealots are actually in the red in their health because of those EMPs, but they're still alive. They're going to get their shields back. They're still going to be pretty tanky. And the upgrades do continue. Upgrade-wise, right now, it's 2-2 versus 2-1. So Hack has had an advantage this entire time, but in just a second, he's going to be down in upgrades until that +3 finishes, which is a ways away. Those choke points are really important right now. When you're trying to attack with Storm, you have to be really careful because if your Templar are too far up behind, all your Zealots die before the Storms come off, but they're too far at the front, they get sniped. So it's a really, really difficult give-and-take battle here. There's the snipe, but at least he gets the feedback off first.
Oh, yeah, he needs to add more ghosts in his comp, actually. He needs to get more snipes, more EMPs, and more importantly, he needs more DPS against all of those Zealots.
I haven't seen a TVP like this in Korea in a while.
Yeah.
We're seeing EMPs and snipes, man. We're seeing Hack try to play like it's old times. Like he's going to go toe-to-toe with the High Templar. He's not afraid. He's ready to make the ghost. He's ready to deal with High Templar straight up. But the scary thing is, in late game TVP, you have to balance your solutions to the AoE damage. You have to balance your Viking count and your Ghost count. You have to make sure you don't have too many of one or too little of the other. And we see already back at home, double Colossus production for Trap. He's already preparing for the heavy Ghost switch. He's already ready to have those Colossi to come back into the battle.
Yeah, Trap's kind of doing what Zerg does sometimes against Protoss, which is just like these huge tech switches. Adding down an extra Robo and making 2 Colossi at a time is a huge tech switch. He's also getting that 4th base, but in the meantime, Hack is getting his 4th CC, so it's pretty even still. We're going to have a double drop over here at the 3rd base of Trap. There is 1 cannon, but not much else. That Mothership Core is going to be in position here, so should be able to push this back.
He's definitely going to want to pull that Mothership Core away so he doesn't get sniped. In fact, those Zealots all just got warped in to die. He's just trying to buy time here as he's trying to move and solidify his position in the middle of the map. The Colossi come over to help deal with this.
Oh my god, he's going to get that Nexus.
He gets a Nexus, and also his army's a little bit out of position. I'm telling you, man, Hack is playing well, and StarTale, again, I really want to stress this. They are bringing their A game today. Yeah. Like, oh, some of our players are gone.
We need a sponsor, man.
We need a sponsor. But like, some of our players are gone, so what? You didn't expect Hack to do this well today. Well, here he is. Okay, this is a bit of an awkward position, though. EMPs go down, but will they be enough? There's no answer for the Colossi at the back this time. Yeah. And that's a huge warp into 10 Zealots on the left side of the map.
Oh, man, just huge Colossi swipes on all of those Marines as well. And here are the reinforcements. They look puny compared to what the Protoss has right now.
I think he got a bit too excited. And I want to point out that even though the army supplies are, at this point they look a little bit more similar, that's a ton of medevacs on that army supplies. Some of those in the red, some of them out of energy. And I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this. Viking shots here are so important.
Well, he's got a decent ball of Marines that aren't being hit by the Colossi right now. Not the best focus timing.
Yeah.
Or not focus timing, focus fire here out of the Colossi.
Yeah.
Those some decent splits out of Hack, and has Trap extended too far. It's really close, this fight, actually.
Yeah, it's really close. I feel like that was a fight that Trap could have almost just crushed, but he just mismicroed his Colossi were firing at buildings like a refinery and some supply depots. Now he's losing his Immortals, he's losing some Stalkers. The EMPs are still a factor here, and I can't believe I'm watching these Vikings that are not very upgraded at all chase a 3-3 Colossus back.
Yeah, man. Almost killing that second Colossus as well.
He's winning late game TVPs. He's trying to say, like, once upon a time, people didn't pull the boys and they made ghosts. Once upon a time, we made ghosts in this matchup. I will do it again.
Really refreshing to see.
Yeah.
I love this. There was always a bit of a back and forth all the time in these like super late game TVPs, but Terran's kind of decided at one point that Widowmines were too strong and they wanted to use them early on as well as later on, and we never really saw this style ever again, but Hack's bringing it back. I'm really happy. Going to see a planetary here at the 4th base. He's going to solidify this mid position. We do have a Warp Person coming out here for Trap, so he's going to start trying to put on the pressure here with some drops.
Trap's in a weak position right now because he only has 3 Colossi and 4 High Templar. That's all he has on the map. He has a ton of gas. Actually, no, he doesn't have a ton of gas. In fact, I looked at the screen wrong. I looked at the minerals wrong. Hold that thought. We're going to have a little bit of an engagement here. These High Templar that he have are his only card in his hand. The Ghosts are going to EMP them. Of course, they're going to help EMP these Stalkers, which makes the Vikings stronger against the Colossi. He only has +1 for the Vikings. Would love to see him get +2 because we are going late game.
Yeah.
We are hitting 24-30 in a TVP that very rarely happens in Korea. This is actually happening right now, Valdez.
So happy, man.
He's got a Planetary Fortress. He's got a 4th base fully saturated.
As is the Protoss.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what Hack wants to do right now. He's moving out forward with this Vikings. He's trying to get some snipes on Colossi, obviously, here, but with Blink, with Storms and stuff, it's going to be hard to do.
Ooh, that scan is so nice. He sees his opportunity. He's going to try to get one of these Colossi. He does. He eats a Storm for it. But that's okay. His Ghosts are in good position if he can keep the Colossi at bay. The control we're seeing from Hack here is really smart. He keeps the Colossi with his Vikings. Then he can have the Ghosts at the front for the EMPs and the snipes. He's zoned this Protoss army out completely, and now it's going to hit this base.
Oh, boy. Those EMPs are huge. The Colossi get sniped down immediately by those Vikings. And look at these splits as well. EMPs have hit all those Zealots. They melt. And look at the Concave right now. The Vikings landing, and has Hack done it?
Vikings helping out as well. It looks like he may have, Valdez. A ton of reinforcements, but it's just not going to be enough. Probes being pulled off the line here. There's a lot of reinforcements. Those medevacs are getting low. He doesn't want to overextend. Needs a target.
Big storm.
Big
storm. It's going to buy him some time here, but is it enough?
Those
more
medevacs,
reinforcements are coming across the map right now from Hack, but he's going to have to back off.
I don't know if those medevacs have less health or less energy, man. They're both at basically 0. I can't even believe they're still flying. He needs to pull back. He needs to recover because a lot of his army needs to be healed as well, and you can't do that without more medevacs.
And that's what we see on the production tab right now, 3 at a time.
A huge amount of High Templar just got warped in as well. He has 8 of them on the map, which means a follow-up engagement without health would be disastrous. And will Trap finally be able to move across the map and start to put some more pressure on? It's going to be difficult, but he's trying to even do this with a small group of Blink Stalkers. It's becoming such a scrappy game here.
Yeah, Trap's correctly identified that because there are so many Ghosts being made, there is a very low number of Marauders on the map right now, only 3. So he can just move forward with these Blink Stalkers, pick off a ton of units. That's exactly what he's doing. Fortunately, though, for Hack, he's identified that as well. So he's like, oh, I'll just run after you, and you can't really micro. It's really hard to do against the stem.
Oh, he's so low on these units. He's insanely low. I know you guys can't see it, but I mean, I'm watching this, and I'm seeing, every time I see him engage with those Marauders, I'm like, if Trap wanted to stick and fight with those Stalkers and he blink microed perfectly like this was a PvP, he could actually kill them. They're that low. Okay, a few units get caught here. Good move outs here by Hack. Securing this 4th base is so difficult to do. The supplies do not tell the whole story in late game TVP because if I tell you guys the army cost, it is insanely high in gas right now. It's 2,450 in fact for Trap with all these High Templar he has, and the Storms can wipe bio armies in seconds.
Yeah, it's really all about that micro for Hack here. He needs to get the EMPs down. He's still got 7 Ghosts, so he stopped there. I think that's a good number as long as he can land those EMPs and he doesn't get caught out by any kind of weird Warp Prism High Templar movements. Some nice micro out of Trap. This is getting just so scrappy. I love this game.
The center tower is in such a good place because it allows him to know any Zealot movements that come from the middle of the map. He has the watchtower on the right side either, so he knows his base is safe. He knows it's secured. Great snipes here again by Hack. Hack is inspiring me right now, Valdez.
Yeah, that was actually a Storm on his own Stalkers as well. They don't do too much damage to the Stalkers, but this is what I was talking about before. He does not want to be caught off guard by one random High Templar on the high ground, and he finds it here, and that's pretty huge.
He is so careful. He leaves no stone unturned. He's checking everything.
He's playing this so well, man.
Trap is backed into a corner. Ooh, that was a great Storm, though. This just goes to show you how important it is to EMP. There are the EMPs. This army is all in the red, but he's got the medevacs to support this time. He continues to push forward, picks off that High Templar.
Time Warp comes down on pretty much nothing there, just trying to secure a kill on some Ghosts. And Trap extending a little bit too far forward. He's going to have to back off to that 4th base. In the meantime, I mean, Hack, he's got a 5th base. He's got a better economy right now than Trap does. You can see in those banks, Trap really struggling for that gas right now.
And finally, we see the High Templar in the Warp Prism. This is one way you can avoid the EMPs. We don't see this anymore because we don't see late game TVP very often, but this is one way to avoid those High Templar, or avoid the EMPs on your High Templar. Just keep them in a place where they can't be EMP'd. Good trade here for Trap. It's pretty expensive there. Oh, good EMP. Every time he EMPs an arm like this, it has to pull back.
Look at the production tab of Trap. He's barely even making anything. The economy of Hack is just pulling him forward. He's getting so far ahead right now.
You're absolutely right. And this 5th base is everything. It's what allows him to do this. He made a bunker here because he knows he lost control of that Watchtower Zealot otherwise could occur. But he knows that Trap is running low, so just one bunker should be enough. That base is what allowed him to remake all his Marauders. You made such a good point earlier. You know, Trap was like, you don't have any Marauders because you made so many Ghosts. Once he had that 5th base, he could afford to remake all those. Good Storm here. He needs to pull back and let those heal or get some EMPs, one or the other. Or both. Ooh, that was a great Storm as well.
Yeah, really good Storm. Taking out a lot of those Marines. And now Trap, he's gaining some more confidence. He's had a lot of Warpins. We finally see some Archons, but still no Colossi. Just too many Vikings in the air right now for Hack.
And
Trap won't even go there yet. He needs to take out a lot of those with some Storms possibly.
Right. You're exactly right. He can't even afford Colossi right now. You know, realistically, like if he makes one Colossi, that's a bunch of Zealots he can't add to his comp. Oh, boy, that was some great EMP action there. And Storm's coming from the back, get EMP'd as well. And look at this. This Bio Army's too strong to fight heads up, even with all these Vikings that are basically doing nothing.
Look at this little small scrappy unit comp that's going over to that 5th base. He's going to shut down all the mining there. 21 SUVs going down. He's killed that entire 5th base. Trap is holding on.
Trap is holding on. Really, really playing very well. Finally just committing there. Did the CC die? The CC died.
Yeah,
he
CC
lost the whole
down.
CC. This Archon is so expensive. He does not want to lose that. Loses it just the same. Vikings may have to land here. This is a very important fight here. Here comes some high tempo with Storms. There's no
they don't
answer.
have Storms. They don't have Storms.
They don't.
Not enough energy. And he just gives away 4 of them. He's coming from behind with a lot of these Zealots and even a Dark Templar in the mix. EMP will go down. I don't even know how he spotted that in this giant entire fight here. But Hack, I think he's done it.
I think he has. What a crazy game. What a crazy game. I thought those high Templar had Storms. They did not. And
Trap
that's
just
going to be
bringing him
it.
forward like slightly too early.
StarTale is not messing around today. That's going to be it. What a game.
I can't believe Hack actually beat him.
And like this, with Ghosts, we are at the 34-minute mark. 34-minute GG, TVP. Ghosts are still going to use them. That's what Hack's saying.
Wow. Really, really great game here from Hack. Really got to hand it to him. Everybody voted against him. And you got to think, like, the StarTale bench is watching that prediction come up on the screen, and they're like, uh-oh. Nobody has confidence in this guy. But maybe they were saying, oh, no, we got confidence in our buddy. He's going to bring it here today against Protoss. He was practicing. It was very obvious.
It got brought, man. He brought it.
He brought it. He didn't leave it at home.
He did not leave it at home. He absolutely had his Ghost Academy in his pocket the whole time. He pulled that out. Like, this is not Legacy of the Void. That's not a new structure in this game. That's been here since Wings of Liberty. It's like, I told you the Ghosts would work. See, you make the Ghosts and you EMP him. That's what Legend just said. I'm a lip reader in Korean, my second language.
Yeah, man. Well, a bit sorry for Trap here. He just got... I don't know. It was very even for a long amount of time, but I feel like Hat just played slightly better. He was doing a very interesting style as well, just going for very early high Templar, which kind of forced out those Ghosts, and then he was like, oh, I'll make my switch now into Colossi. I've got him here. But he didn't take the greatest fights. He had a time where he was almost about to kill Hack, but then 3 of his Colossi were hitting a CC against a bunch of Marines. Whereas, like, all of his Zealots just got EMP and they just got wiped out. They melted all those Marines and the huge CPS that comes with them.
That was
and he had no front line.
Yeah, that was a huge moment. Also, the moment with the fake drop where he lost his 3rd base, that was almost completed. That was a huge moment where Hack got a lot of momentum. I feel like the last nail in the coffin was when he got that 5th base up and had a watchtower and a sensor tower. There was no way any Zealots were going to go over there and harass. He ended up losing it much later with a huge group of units and like an Immortal or 2 that killed that base, but before that, that base was secure and Trap was low on money. He knew he couldn't afford to send Zealots over there if there was so much vision. He couldn't afford to bleed Zealots off like that. And StarTale is now 1 win away from actually taking this series.
Against Jim.